is a lot of times you have to go through the ribs, okay? So please think about how ribs run in the body. Okay, they run like this, right? Everybody sees that, how your ribs run?
Yeah.
Ribs don't run like this, they run like this. So if the ribs run like that and I set the transducer down like this, what's gonna happen? All sorts of rib shadows. Plus my kidneys do not lay straight up and down, do they? My kidneys almost kind of go like the ribs do. Okay? So I can look at him and I can plot my transducer between a rib. And I have a spleen. There's my spleen, okay? I mean, the spleen is one of those things you guys struggle and struggle and struggle with. And all I did was plop that probe down and there's the spleen because I went right in between the ribs, okay? So don't go try to cross the ribs, go between the ribs. Now if I pop down a rib, I'm like, oh look, there's my kidney. So, and then now I'm just gonna tweak like the bottom of my transducer and kind of tweak, is that right or perfect?
It's fine.
Okay, so there's my left kidney. So you've got to work around these ribs. And then if I put this down, let's say I put the transducer down over here, I'm like, oh, where is that? I'm in between the ribs, but I'm like, I don't see a kidney. Watch, if I just slide the transducer up, I'm like, oh, there's spleen. There's spleen. I know I have to go down a rib to get the kidney. Or, you know, I can just slide along these ribs. Look at, I can slide along this rib and get that. See how I'm following that kidney in between the ribs? Slide along, okay? So I come back here, this is my left. Same protocol, okay? You're just gonna have to work between the ribs, like lateral sometimes. If I hit a rib, I'm gonna have to go over a rib to get it. He's actually pretty easy to do, Bronson. So if I go like this and I can't see it, I just have to tweak my transducer. He's pretty easy, okay? And then to go medial, I might have to move over a rib and then go medial and medial. So move over the ribs if you need to for the left kidney. Okay, makes sense? Now, another on the, this superior pole on the left kidney is one of the more challenging things, okay? He's not that hard, but on some people it's really hard. You can't find the superior pole. If I cannot find the superior pole on my kidney, I go find my spleen, okay? Because I'm like, well, there's my spleen. I know, look at, what do I see right here? Spleen. I know if I find my spleen and I turn transverse on my spleen, which is literally, I'm going to pick up the transducer. I'm in between the ribs like this. I'm going to go like that and put my transducer in between the ribs, and I'm going to have a transverse spleen. Okay? That's how easy the spleen is. Don't make the spleen more difficult than it is. Karen, do you agree that they make the spleen way much, like, all students make the spleen a lot harder than it is? If you think about going in between the ribs like this, boom, there's a spleen. Pick up my transducer, okay? Turn it 90 degrees and go boom.
It's 180.
180 degrees, sorry.
That was 180.
See, I didn't do all geometry. I do know what perpendicular is. And then you go 180 degrees, there's my spleen.
That's trans spleen.
It's trans spleen.
You're not considered backwards on your
Yeah.
No,
just backwards.
it's transverse spleen. That's the only way to get transverse spleen, because if I go like this,
Right,
but-
in between the ribs.
okay, so if I go exactly transverse, see how I can't get the spleen really in between the ribs?
Right.
So I go like that and I squeak it in between the ribs.
Do we need transverse?
And then I slide up and down the transverse. Okay, so let's go back to the superior pole of kidney. So I find that transverse spleen, and then I know I can get this upper pole of the kidney. Here's my spleen, I know it's sitting there, and if I use that spleen, here's spleen, I can get superior pole of the kidney. Superior pole is very hard to get on a lot of patients. You've got to find the spleen in transverse and use the spleen to get the superior pole. Just like you'd use the liver to get the superior pole on the other side. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's your superior mid. And then the other thing about the left kidney is a lot of times you have to move. You can't sit in the same place. On him, he's actually easier than most people. James didn't realize you were this easy to scan. So, but most people, you do superior and then you like, oh my God, I can't see mid. You've got to come down a rib or you've got to move over. Like with the left side, you have to move around, okay? So there's his mid and then I keep going and then sometimes I have to pop down another rib or move and then there's inferior, okay? So the left kidney is a lot more challenging on most people than the right kidney. Whoever gets James is gonna have a perfect, patient to scan, okay? So you are gonna have to move around to get this kidney.
Can you put out the aisle?
You know what, I'm gonna make the hilum so it kinda goes upside down. Okay, so say this is my transverse kidney. Cause some people, you're not gonna be able to see in the front with the left, and so you have to go towards the back, okay? And this is my mid kidney. Okay, that's my mid left kidney. So it's not that perfect side by side thing, so I'm gonna measure my kidney. Here's the hilum here. So I'm gonna measure from here to here. Does everybody understand that? Your hilum isn't always perfect. Like I can make his perfectly like this.
So you don't want the hilum pointing up.
It doesn't, you can't on everybody. On him I can, on a lot of people I can. Some people, I have to go all the way behind here, and you know, I can try, but you're gonna have people that you're not gonna get that hilum, that perfectly side by side. It's gonna be like this, okay? Because you're going through the back, okay? A lot of people, you're not gonna be able to see it through the front. On him, yes, we can. But if you can't, go to the back, but just make sure you measure the kidney correctly, okay? So that's a transverse kidney, the hilum is here, I'm gonna measure from here to here, okay? So know where your hilum is. If you don't know where your hilum is, you're like, I don't know where the hilum is on this kidney, what can you do? Oh look, there's my hilum, okay? Make sense? Okay, alright, any other questions about kidney or spleen?
Will you do the interface with the spleen?
Yes, well, he's so easy.
No, just so we know what
It's
it's
right
supposed to
there,
look like.
yeah, right there.
It's a spleen,
It
it's just like a
doesn't look like
sliver.
this on everybody.
So your
Okay.
sliver of spleen might even be smaller.
Some people, like, you literally get, you know, you've got a rib and, you know, you might, I mean, I can't even make a bad picture. So, who was I scanning with? Was it Manoj? So we had, like, we had this.
Rib.
But we had a rib, like, coming through here. But we still had the upper pole of the kidney and the spleen to show the echogenicity between the two. That's what the point of this is, okay? You're not always going to get this perfect picture. You're rarely gonna get this perfect picture with the entire spleen and kidney. That doesn't happen often, okay?
Sometimes they're really far apart.
And sometimes they're really far apart, and those are hard. You have to kind of work it so that, you know, there'll be this space between here. So you just have to work it so you can get a little bit of spleen. See, look at if I try to make them apart here. But at least I have a little bit of spleen in here and I have a little bit of my kidney to show that. I'm trying to make them far apart, it's a little hard. But sometimes you'll have this big space here, but you still need to show spleen and kidney to show the echogenicity, okay? All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't have any more questions about liver and kidney, does group 6 want to stay in here and ask more questions? I know some of you asked about pancreas.
Yeah.
Yeah,